How to grow on LinkedIn without wasting money with paid ads. Most influencers never set up a pay-per-click because it costs a lot, over $1 for one click, and sometimes it values $10 and more. It's crazy. What you need to do is better to use organic reach, and it works perfectly fine on LinkedIn. You can get a lot of followers, views, traffic and sales without wasting money. I got over 50,000 followers on LinkedIn and I never set up paid ads. So watch this video until the end and I will share with you how you can do it as well. Stay tuned, the best part is coming. Okay guys, before watching this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Click the notification tag to know about new videos on this channel. Because I create this video for you, I wanna help you to grow online and to get organic reach on LinkedIn. My tip number one is to use the right hook. You know, people usually search their feeds on LinkedIn, they scroll, and if you can't get their attention, LinkedIn will never rank your posts and increase exposure for your content. That's why I usually pay a lot of attention with creating thumbnails, the right sentences, and something that can occupy attention of users. I test a lot. I don't know what works exactly because I see some influencers use one types of content, others. It depends. You know, it's better to use some provoking words, because if people click to read more, to learn more about you, and if it helps to retain the audience on LinkedIn, you can get a lot more organic reach. You can check out my posts. You can see that I use a lot of different types of the first sentence and try to provoke some curiosity and give the reason to read the whole post. Many influencers use storytelling style. It depends on you. You can set up some stories about you, about your brand, products, and get a lot more exposure. And start from the hook. And we will go to the next tip. My second tip is to avoid fluff. Don't use some information that users don't need at all. I often see when some social media users provide content, a long intro in their videos, on their text-based posts, but people have no time to consume this information. For example, don't use "Hello, my name is Anatoly, it's better to tell something about me, blah blah blah." Don't do it, you know. Start from the main part. For example, I use only in the first sentence some hook to occupy attention, and after this I provide value or share some story that can help to occupy attention from people who might consume my content. And you can't get results from all posts that you submit on LinkedIn. Some posts get 100 views, others can get 10,000 views. It depends. It's better to test a lot and think how you can save time for your consumers, you know, who will open your content. If you provide a lot of information they don't need at all, they skip reading and go to another post, and LinkedIn will never expose your content. And we will go to the next tip. My third tip is to provide something new and unique. I often see when other social media users copy my posts or can steal posts from other influencers and provide in their content, but people might see this content. They are not interested to consume totally the same content. Even if you rewrite a lot, it's better to provide something new and unique. That's why I often read a lot of blogs where I can get some unique new information, ideas, and provide for LinkedIn users. Share breaking news about your topic, because for example, marketing is a quickly changing niche. It's better to consume new content and share with your audience. I think it's totally the same with any other niches. It's up to you. You should find something new and provide, because only unique content can bring more attention and results. My next tip is to over-deliver promises that you can provide in your intro. It's better to give more and more. For example, when you tell your audience that I can share 5 tips, share plus 2 tips and you can get 7 tips. If you tell them you can help to get more attention on social media, provide something more, you know, in your content. Of course, you have some limited on LinkedIn because you can only submit 1,700 words for each post, but you can submit other information in other posts. And I often see when some users have short posts and provide and get a lot of attention, and others might have long posts. It's better to test a lot. And some of my clients ask me what's going on, why I need to write long posts, because I see that these users, my competitors, have short ones and get a lot of attention. Yes, of course, you can test. And for example, in my posts, you can see that I provide 2 different types: short posts, medium, and long ones. I can test short videos, long videos, and test a lot, because it's better to find what works for you, for your audience. And long posts can help to retain the audience longer on LinkedIn, and it's one reason why LinkedIn increases exposure and provide more organic reach. That's why I often play with long posts, and it depends on your story. If you provide some fluff, it's not interesting at all, of course LinkedIn will never rank your content. But if you provide something new, unique, interesting, can retain the audience, long posts provide much more results than short ones. My next tip is to keep simple everything. You know, don't try to crush people's minds. Don't try to provide something that is difficult to consume, because people have no time to think what's going on in your posts. It's better to make it simple. Keep it simple. I try to use short sentences and I use a lot of space on my LinkedIn posts, because it helps to retain the audience, and it's simpler to read and consume my content. Don't try to provide a lot of content for one post. I usually submit 1, 2, 3 points for one post. I can have a list but without a lot of explanation, or I can submit some posts with explanations, but you know, it depends. It's better to test and figure out what works for you. My tip number 6 is to engage your audience, you know, to help with engagement. I always use call to action in the end of my posts. I tell them, please like my post, share, comment below. I submit my likes and put comments to my posts as well, because it helps to provoke others people to comment your posts. I often see when LinkedIn users submit content and don't care about engagement. However, LinkedIn checks out how people engage your posts. If they put likes, comments, yep, you can get a lot more exposure. That's why when I write any post, in the end of this post, I can ask, comment below, share your opinion, please tell more what you think about my thoughts, and I can submit the first comment, the second comment. And I often see some influencers use totally the same methods to engage their audience, to ask them, please do it, because people are lazy. They have no time to engage your posts. If you don't ask them, it's better to use call to action in the end of your posts. My tip number 7 is to tell the audience where they can continue their journey. It doesn't matter, it's your post or for other posts, but when you submit some information where people can learn more and get more information, you can retain audience on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn pays attention that your post helps to get this retaining, even if they consume other posts, because you can be one element on this chain. You know, that's why I often tell them read other my posts or share some information in the first comment. Yep, you can do it as well. Just submit some information how to retain audience to consume more content on LinkedIn. Okay, guys, let me know what you think about this video. Please share your opinion, and you can submit your LinkedIn accounts as well. I will check them out. out and provide some tips how you can grow on LinkedIn